Data Australasia, guided by lived experience, led by you.
And thanks Kylie for the voiceover. Hi everyone, it's Elise Lonsdale again from Data Australasia. Recently I did a video where I gave it to the NDIS a bit, didn't I? I sort of said about this business of therapeutic codes versus, what was it, the code, the mentoring code versus the therapeutic code. We need a code in between is basically the idea of that video. We need to be recognised. But of course the NDIS has made a lot of positive changes to a lot of lives. And I'm going to talk particularly in this video about what it's done for us in the blindness community. As of shooting this video here on the 20th of August, this is actually the fourth video I've made today. But of course, they won't be released in that sequence. They'll be released as I see fit, depending on the social media situation at the time. The reason I can do these videos is because I have a very good person in my life, a very good friend, who started off as an NDIS worker, but became much more than that due to we were brought together under some quite difficult circumstances during the COVID lockdowns several years back. But it means that I place in that person a great deal of trust. Support workers are quite popular as a means of getting just the day-to-day tasks done for people who are participants of the NDIS. Now, again, I'm going to speak of this in the blindness realm, not other disabilities, because I'm not qualified to talk about those other disabilities. But I do see regularly people who are in wheelchairs, people who have got intellectual disabilities out and about with their support workers who do a sterling job. And there are platforms such as Mable and HireUp that enables a connection between a participant and a support worker. But back to the blindness. Blindness is a sensory disability. It is not a physical disability, nor is it an intellectual one. It is a sensory disability, which means you can do certain things for yourself. You can cook a meal. Sometimes, now I'm not good at cooking, but I can cook to survive. But how often have one or two of my support workers walked in, one in particular, Annette, as I've walked in and I said, I cooked a meal last night, and the first thing she says is, yeah, I know. I can see the remnant of it on the bench. How did it get there? Well, who knows? It's easy to spill stuff as a legally blind person. Not just that, you might think you've wiped it all up and cleaned up after yourself. To only find tomorrow morning you actually haven't. My stove had stuff on it I had to clean a day later because I didn't see it there. I left a cup of drink on my coffee table that I discovered a day later because I simply didn't see it there. I've come to the door when Annette's come to the door and she says, you're not wearing that today. Why? Because there was a stain on that item of clothing. Particularly white clothing. It can be so easily marked or stained, and you think you've washed it. You think you've got the stain out, or you think I'll get another day's wear out of that, only to find out that you've got something on there that you haven't spotted. I've got 10% vision. So to have that sighted assistance to supplement the things I can do on my own is paramount. Other people use their support workers, as do I, to go shopping because it's nice to browse through the shops, the supermarket, the day-to-day weekly shopping. It's nice to, if I need something special, I need a birthday present for somebody. Do we go and have a look in Lush, or do we go and have a look in Loccatan, or do we have a look in a clothing store and maybe get them a nice item of clothing or buy them a voucher? You need a sighted assistant, and you need a sighted assistant who knows you, who knows me. Like I went shopping with some girls from Toastmasters about a month or so ago when my regular support Annette was away. But fortunately, those girls knew me well enough to know what would assist me and what would work, and to tell me if they thought the pants I was trying on were too baggy, or the top I was trying on may not have just sat right. Looked all right on the rack, but did it look all right on me? Well, fortunately, $200 and some odd later, the clothing I bought did look all right, and it's been quite popular. But you need people who trust you. My sister, I trust her because she's very good at it and offers support work similar to what I have in Melbourne, in far north Queensland. And to do that, she's had to build the trust that she has with her clients, not just cleaning and coming into the person's house and cleaning, that's how it all started for her, but to go in and to take them shopping, to do those personal things, to read that personal note that's turned up in the mail about a upcoming medical appointment, and to furthermore take you to said medical appointment, which has happened to me with my heart disease and similarly a more recent issue, to have somebody whom you can trust. And that's what the NDIS needs to continue to pay for and does. This is stuff that comes out of the course. So yes, whilst I have been quite boisterous in some of my criticisms of the NDIS, let it not be said that these supports are important to us. And unless we went back to a block funding model, they should stay with the NDIS, because that is support to enable people, not to do for people, but to give, like, I guess the right expression I'm looking for is a hand up, not a hand out. So let's get in the car and go shopping. Let's do that. Let's go to exercise physiology. And I'm going to do another video on exercise physiology. Some people have support workers to take them to gym or swimming because they might need assistance on the machine. They might need assistance getting around the changing rooms. And this is where it's important. I have a friend of mine who uses support workers for hair and makeup because they're a performer. Not all the time, but when they need to. And I think this is the thing. We in the blind community are quite capable of deciding when, how, and why we will use our supports. So it does worry me that, they're talking about independent assessments Mark II, because will they really be a true and accurate guide on a blind person's needs? In my opinion, probably not. However, that's another story and a subject for a video for another time. But I'd like to thank my support workers I have, and on behalf of the blind community, thank all support workers that are usually funded by the NDIS on My Aged Care, because really, they're just regular people out there in the community doing regular things. And for that, I thank you.
For fast, efficient access technology training and support, call Elise Lonsdale from Australia 0448 966 533. That's 0448 966 533. Or from New Zealand on 027 315 2858. That's 027 315 2858. Data Australasia. Guided by lived experience, led by you.